Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Albuquerque Aliens Draft Declared franchise mode here in NHL 25. So last episode, if you did not catch it, we had the season simulation, and it went a lot better than expected. We finished the season 53, 21, and 8, which was good enough to win our team the President's Trophy. Now, we had some pretty interesting stats. There was one stat that definitely stand out from the rest, which was the goals against. But in terms of everything else, we're kind of like just average or a little bit below maybe average. Like we're top 10 in things. Like our offense was 9th in the league or around 8th, something like that. I think that's actually 8th, right? Yeah. Wait, maybe that's even 7th place. Regardless, we were top 10 in goals against, which is our goals for, which is pretty solid. But the goals against per game was the main surprise to me this season because we did lose our starter in Gianta due to injury the last 20 games or so of the season. But we still finished as the best defensive team, and we had some really good results from the young goaltenders. So very strong season in terms of our defensive play. However, like our special teams really weren't the best. Like they were outside of the top 10, I would say. So like 17.8% on the power play is not bad, but it's definitely not the best. And in our penalty kill at 84.2% is also outside of the top 10. So we actually didn't have the best special teams for being the best team in the league, but we are the best defensive team, and then our goals for was kind of solid at times. So I honestly don't know if this team is like better than they look. Basically, like maybe we just won the President's Trophy because it just wanted to give it to us, but I think we could have a pretty good run this year if our team continues its hot defensive play from the regular season. Because look at our offense here. You can see our depth scoring was pretty decent this year. We did have one 100-point guy in Stelbitz, but we did run into a little bit of injuries throughout the year because you could see all these guys, including Narena missed 5 games. We had Hunwick who missed 5 games. Kim missed 4 games. You had Kolars who missed 4 games. Cashman missed 2 games. Ristolainen missed a game, but everybody else was healthy throughout the entire year. Now, what's kind of crazy, though, also with our team is we did actually suffer some really bad drop-off in production, which I wasn't expecting. Like, for instance, Ristolainen had his lowest point totals in quite a while with 88 points. It's still a really good season for him, but definitely showing his age a little bit. Like, this is his lowest point totals in 7 seasons? Yeah, 7 seasons, so it's been a while. He's obviously had a lot of 100-point seasons recently, but definitely a little bit of a lower year in terms of the offense, but still a great year. But the one that really surprised me was Rick Kim, who only had 44 points this year in a contract year. I expected him to outplay his performances from years prior just because of the fact that he's in a contract year. However, he ended up dropping off in production by an astronomical amount. You could see by, 26 points? Yeah, 26 points. And he had like 13 less goals, which is pretty insane. So a lower end year, even though he had right around the same amount of ice time. So kind of not expecting that type of result from Rick Kim, but hopefully that makes him cheaper for us when we get to the offseason and all that stuff. But in general, it was a pretty good season from the forwards. Our defense, I was happy with Narena's play, 51 points in a plus 30. And then from a goaltending perspective, as I mentioned, Gianta did get injured. He had a .913 save percentage, but you could see the youngsters in Heracala and Mathers really did well. Mathers had 3 shutouts in 9 games, which is absolutely fantastic. So some really good goaltending results, and I hope that obviously the young goalies could do well for us in the playoffs until Gianta is back from injury, which is not supposed to be till like May something. So he will be missing at least the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, it seems like. Now, we are going to be taking on the Nashville Predators in the first round of the playoffs. They went 45, 30, and 7 during the regular season, which is not the best record in the world, but it's still pretty solid. They do have a pretty interesting looking team, and I'm a little bit scared that we could get cheesed here out of a good playoff run in the first round, but I'm hoping, obviously, we can find a way to beat them. They do have a really good top line of Will Smith, Radoslav Holton, and Louis Boudreau. And they also have Zanata, who's pretty solid on the second line, but you can see they are lacking a little bit of depth, I would say, maybe down the middle in a way. Like, technically, these second and third line centers are more like third line and fourth line kind of signers. Maybe Standard's actually a bit better to be a third liner, but a little bit weak on the center depth. The right wing depth is also a little bit weaker than that, but their left wing depth is probably one of the best I've seen in the league. Now, from a defensive standpoint, they don't have the strongest defensive core in the world, but it definitely doesn't have much weakness either. So they do have a good defensive core to boot, and they also do have the good goaltender in Nikita Tulipov. So this might be a bit of a tougher series than it looks. I'm hoping, obviously, we can continue on our good run that we've had so far this season and hopefully build off that President's Trophy win. But anyways, before we get into this first round matchup with the Nashville Predators, let's get in your guys' comments and see what you guys have to say about last episode, and then we'll see what this team is able to do this postseason with the young goaltenders. So the first comment is from Garage TV, who says, "Damn, can't believe Rick Kim dropped the ball hard this year. Congrats to the young goaltender. Narena got helped by Bell, thank God, but it didn't do much better goal-wise than a two-way defenseman, Tulipov. This may be a high-risk, high-take, but I think it's time to trade away Harakala, lost elite potential, and keep Mathers and do the same thing you did this year." So, yeah, obviously we can't make trades in the series, but he's saying basically to let go of Harakala and in the offseason because he is a pending UFA and run Mathers as the backup next season. That's probably something we could do. But we also do have to be keeping note the fact that we do have Malkin now in the AHL, so Malkin probably should make the jump. So maybe there's a chance we would do kind of what we did this year where Mathers and Malkin kind of battled it out for backup roles, and then we basically let go of Harakala in that sense. That could be something we do. In terms of the offseason, in terms of goaltenders, like Mathers definitely, to me at least, has shown that he should be an NHL backup based on his numbers in his career, because I forgot that he even played last year too, and he was really good in it. So in his career, he's got a .945 save percentage through 10 games, and obviously he's never played an NHL playoff game, but there is a chance that he's probably going to be our starter here this postseason. Maybe we start Harakala just because he's a bit older, I'm not too sure, but either one of those goaltenders could help us hopefully this playoff run while we wait for Gianta to return. But he was also saying that Narena got helped by Bell. I would say Narena had a pretty good season. Maybe the plus minus is a big factor with Bell, having him next to him, but Narena still brings, I think, a lot of offense to this team, and that's something that we don't really have from our back end. Like, I don't think if we let go of Narena hypothetically last offseason, I don't think Tulipov would have been able to drive the offense on that power play as well. Maybe he would be, but it's really tough to say just because his career high points is 32 points only. So I know that Tulipov does score around the same amount of goals as Narena, but I do like that Narena's here, and I hope that obviously he ends up just retiring with us. I think he'll retire with us probably around the same time that like Ristolainen and Stowitz are retiring, so we are probably going to lose three big guys all around the same time, which is a bit worrisome. So hopefully that doesn't come anytime soon, but we got to find a way to win a Stanley Cup maybe while we still have those guys on our roster. And the last and final comment is from Sound Taco, who says, "To all the Narena doubters, your apology is accepted. When your best guys get injured, whether it's in this series or your Islanders one, you should be editing the lines manually so you don't have it. So you don't have a depth forward playing on the top six. You may have the experience, but Nashville looks like they may bring the cheese." So yeah, Nashville does look like they could bring in the cheese. I am a little bit worried about that, but I hope that this team can kind of build off what was a season that we didn't really expect to be that good, especially in the defensive zone of things, but we were that good. So it's all going to come down to, I think, if we want to win the series, is obviously containing that top line of the Preds, and also if our goaltenders could kind of do what they did during the regular season, because obviously, like I said, losing Gianta is a pretty big blow for this team, but those young goaltenders were able to do well during the last stretch of the season. So if Reid Mathers could continue to do what he's been doing with that .946, he'll do well and help us out a lot. If Harakala could do what he was doing with that .914, he could definitely do some good things. Like, Harakala's been a pretty damn good backup the last 3 seasons. Like, he's got also a career .910 save percentage and has also played a little bit in the playoffs too. So both these guys probably get in this series, I would assume. Like, we'll probably end up trying Mathers out first just because Mathers has never played a playoff game. We'll see how he does. If he plays bad, obviously we go to Harakala. We could easily just flip-flop the two goaltenders. If for some reason the team's not simulating well in front of them, we could also make some defensive adjustments. But I think this team should be strong enough to win some games, hopefully, in my opinion. So with that said, I think we're ready to get into this first round matchup and see if we can play good. One thing also of note that I forgot to mention, you can see the Nashville Predators were a pretty similar team to us during the regular season, aside from their special teams, like their power play percentage, because in goals for, they were 9th, so they weren't too far back of us. In terms of goals against, they were 2nd, so they were the best defensive team after us, which is pretty insane. And then in power play percentage, they were 18th, we were 10th. And in penalty kill percentage, they were 21st, we were 20th. So there's a lot of very close stats between our two teams. So it definitely could go to 7 games potentially at this point in time. So with that said, let's get into this matchup and see if we could keep the momentum rolling. Like I said, we're going to start Mathers for game 1. If he's not good in his first game, we'll go to Harakala. And hopefully both those goalies play good. If one of them doesn't play good, we could always send one down to the minors potentially and call up Malkin and see if Malkin could do well for us. But for the time being, we have still a long time, I believe it is actually, until Gianta's back. Let me actually take a look at when he's supposed to return again, because I don't remember. I think it was late May. Yeah, see, he's got that hit pointer, so he's going to be out till May 21st. So he will likely not be returning until I think a conference finals appearance, maybe even a Stanley Cup finals appearance. Let's see. May 21st is all the way down here. So this series ends here. Another series maybe ends in another 2 weeks or so. So maybe somewhere around here-ish, like the 9th. Yeah, there is a chance that he could come back in the conference finals, I think, if we get there. So let's hope that this team is able to go on a good little run here with the young goaltenders and do well. So let's get into this game number 1 on home ice. Let's build off a good regular season. We are on a little bit of a winning streak going into the playoffs, so hopefully you could ride that wave into this postseason as well. First period, game number 1. 2-0 us. Hey, that's a good start. Good defense and offense as well. So Stalbot scores on the power play. Nice to see that. Delisle scores to make it 2-0. Shots are 15-8 in favor of the Preds. So very good start in terms of goaltending for Mathers in this one. He's building off that good regular season. He faces a ton of shots in that first period, but he stops them all. So we're kind of lucky that our goaltenders are actually able to stop some pucks here, because if it was Gionta in net, I think it would be a little bit more worried in a way, just because Gionta has had a little bit of a lackluster playoffs in the past, so maybe these two goaltenders could cheese other teams out of their wins as well. But we have 2 goals on 8 shots, so far we're kind of contributing on low-end shots, which is good, and so far we have not given up anything on 15 shots. The one thing I would say we need to clean up in the period is obviously not giving up as much shots on goal, because eventually our goaltender will start to buckle. So can we find a way to keep this lead intact in the second period? Second period? 3-2 us, so they did tie it up, Swanson and Standard, so that's exactly what I said. We don't want to give them too much shots. He scored 2 goals in the first 4 minutes of the period to tie it up at 2. And then we get a short-handed goal from Cashman, who had a really good playoffs, I think it was last year, and he gives us back the lead. Shots are 28-20 in favor of the Preds, so they're still outplaying us, but we still have the lead. Let's have a good third period here and find a way to lock this game down. Let's see what happens. Come on, boys. Power play for us. It's a long one when we do not score on it. That's just not great, but at least it took time off the clock. Standard ties the game up. Of course, Standard is scoring goals when I said that he wasn't that good, and then Holton gives the Preds the lead, but Malak answers back. Oh boy, I don't really want to get into an offensive shootout with the Preds, but it seems like that's what we're getting into here now. Final few minutes of this third period. Power play for us. We do not score on it, and we're going to overtime in game number 1. So far, Mathers has been okay. I would say 4 goals against is not necessarily the greatest thing in the world, but he has faced 38 shots. We've only had 29. Yet this game is tied at 4. So we're lucky that we're able to score on our chances, because we've been getting outplayed pretty much for the most part in this game. So far, it's been a bit of a back and forth, because we had a 2-0 lead, then it was 2-2, then it was 3-2, then it was 4-3 them, and then it was 4-4. So I honestly don't know who's going to win it at this point. Who wants to be the hero for us? Let's call on one of our top line guys. Let's call on Ristolainen maybe as a potential hero. Let's see what happens. Game number 1, overtime underway. Penalty kill and OT. Kill it off, boys. And they score. God damn it, man. Who took that penalty in overtime? As Holton gets his second of the night. Like I said, we need to shut down that top line. And we definitely did not do that. That top 6 definitely for the Preds made a huge difference in that one. That's not really on Mathers, because we've faced 44 shots on goal. Yet we lose 5-4, so we were lucky to be in that one almost, but not good. Not good at all. So Stelwitz from Peterson and Kolar's, Delisle from Cashman and Doig. So we literally had the lead multiple times after the first 2 periods, but we could not close it out, which is not great. Then we had Cashman from Norena and Doig, and then we tied it up late. Malak from Norena and Bell, but unfortunately Holton scores his second of the night. So Holton and Standard were the difference makers in that game for the Preds. Who was badly minus in that first game? A couple -2s, and it was the top line mainly, and then also the pairing of Hutton and Tulipov. And then from a goaltending perspective, Mathers rocked an .886, which is not great, but he did face a lot of shots. Maybe I'll go to Harakala for game 2 just to kind of change things up a little bit. But yeah, the Preds definitely had some of their top guys doing well, because Zanata and Standard both had 3 points, and then you had Boudreaux, Cassian, Holton, Smith all with 2 points. So yeah, that top line for them and that second line did a lot of damage. Tulipov didn't play that great against us, but we definitely need to find a way to be a better defensive team in the next game, because we were the best defensive team during the regular season, but obviously since it's the postseason now, we're not playing like that. So definitely got to find a way to be better in the second game if possible. So like I said, we're going to get Harakala in, and we'll probably make it a defensive adjustment to that second pairing, because that second pairing was pretty bad. It seems like in that first game. Like, I don't usually like making adjustments too early into a series, but at the same time, we might as well do it just because obviously we have 2 goalies of the same overall rating anyways. So Harakala will start this game. He does have playoff experience, which might be better. From an offensive standpoint, we'll probably keep it the same because we scored a lot of goals, but we are going to flip up the pairings. We're going to probably go, let's see, Huttonen's what type of defenseman? He's a DFD. We'll do Huttonen and Arena on that second pairing, and it will do Tulipov with Bell. And then Hunwick and Mahalik, maybe we can adjust this accordingly, but I think that's what we'll run with. And then, yeah, like I said, Harakala will come in and start because not a great start to Mather's playoff career. He was apparently good when he played in the AHL for one playoff game, but obviously the AHL is a lot different than the NHL. So let's see if this is good enough to get our team a good response and tie the series up. If we lose both games on home ice, then we're going to need to find ways to win in Nashville, which is going to be probably pretty damn tough. So got to find a way to respond here. We did play a solid offensive game in game 1, but obviously I'm not proud of the defensive play and the goaltending that we normally had during the regular season. So let's get to game number 2 and see if we could get a response. If we could get a response, then anything could happen going forward. So, first period, game number 2. And 1-0 us. So, for the second consecutive game, we do have the lead after the first period. This time, we limited their shots a lot more, which is good to see, because last time they had 15 shots in the first period. This time, they only have 8, as Heatley has our only goal so far. So, a nice fourth-line goal. Love to see the depth show up. So, good start to this game defensively. Let's build on that in the second period, and let's get some insurance to make it easier for us in that third period if possible. Second period, 1-1. The Preds tie it up again. Bembridge early into the second, so it seems like we always allow early goals into the second period as well. At least last game and this game. Shots are now dead even, and it's a 1-1 game only, so it's a bit of a goaltending matchup right now at this point in time. Obviously, last game was pretty offensive, so I do expect there to be some maybe more goals here in this third period. But so far, it's been way too tight here at this point in time. Like I said, I think this series could definitely go to 7 games just based on our regular seasons, but we need to find a way to get our offense going in this third period and not sacrifice our defensive play if possible. Let's see what happens in period 3. Come on, boys. Let's get that lead back. Let's get that lead back. I don't care who it is on our roster, but let's get it lead. Who is going to be that guy that gives us the lead? I know there's somebody. Power play for us. We do not score on it. And they scored right afterwards. Of course, it's Will Smith with the slap to the face. I have to say it like that. It makes it 2-1. Can we tie it up late? No, we can't. And we're going to lose another game by 1 goal only. Yeah, I feel like we're going to get cheesed here. Like, maybe that President's Trophy was something we were not supposed to win. And we outshot them 33-26. So this game's not on Harakala. But we had our chances. We just could not score goals like last game. So it's been inconsistent in all areas. Our goaltending and defense wasn't the best in the first game, but our offense was. Game 2, our offense only scores 1 goal. And it's Heatley from Malak and Lambert. So we got to make some more adjustments, I think, after that game. Harakala was good, though, so I think Harakala will start the next game as well. But we do need to make some adjustments in terms of the forward group and probably the defensive group as well. But yeah, the Preds, like I said, definitely a better team than they look on paper just because they were a good defensive team in the regular season and all that. So let's go back to edit lines here and see what we could do to our lineup to potentially help it out a little bit here. Let's go with Delisle into the top 6 and Dunham could go down just because Dunham's more of a two-way forward. So we'll do him down there. Aside from that, I don't like splitting up my top line really at all. Fourth line, who's scratched at the moment? Bure and Ackerstrom. I don't feel like we've been playing that bad defensively last game, obviously. But I'm trying to think of what we need to do. -2 from Hunwick. Maybe we got to change up that top 6 pairing. I don't know exactly what we want to do, but we got to find ways to get that defense to be a little bit better, I guess. But yeah, so far, I'd say definitely Harakala is the guy. At least here in the playoffs. Is there anybody I could call up if I do get into trouble here? Not really. Maybe Patrick to punch some faces. I'm not too sure on that. Yeah, there's not really anybody I would call up potentially here other than Malkin. We could always call up Boris Malkin, but we don't really need to have another goalie up here. I could also do Ristolainen and Peterson, swap the 2 of these guys. Maybe I would do that. I do love Ristolainen, but he so far has not done anything on that top line. Let's split up that top line a little bit. I don't like doing it too often, but let's do it just to see if it works out on anything. things. So we could probably put it back together again for game 4 potentially, but let's make a small adjustment and see if we could get another good response from our team defensively. Like, hopefully we have another good defensive game like last game, but we do need to find that offense that we had in game 1, because now we got to find a way to win both these games in Nashville. It could be the home ice trend, but honestly, who knows if it's going to be that, because sometimes it looks like it's going to be that, and then it doesn't end up to being like that. So we got to find a way to win 2 of these games in Nashville, or else we definitely have a bit of work to do here going forward. So let's get a response from our team here in game 3, and let's find our offense more consistently and also find our defense more consistently, more goaltending. But we definitely need to be better here. After all, we did win the President's Trophy. So first period, game number 3. 1-0 us. So we do have the lead for the 3rd consecutive game after the first period, but we haven't been able to find ways to close out games. So this is a big test for our team going forward. Rick Kim scores, which is nice to see considering he had a low-end season this year. I don't know how much he's going to cost this offseason, but hopefully we could hold on to him, because obviously our depth drops off a little bit if we do lose him. Shots are 12-8 in favor of the Preds, but it's a 1-0 lead. Can we add some goals in the second period to our side? Second period, 2-0 us. Okay, that's good. We do have a lead going into the 3rd period for the first time, I think. Actually, not for the first time, but for the first time, we have not allowed a goal through 2 periods, I think. Shots are 21-17 in favor of the Preds. So far, we've been getting that good goaltending and defensive play from last game. The offense has been still pretty quiet, but it would be nice just to lock this game down, and then hopefully we could build upon this in the next game as well. So let's get an insurance marker if we can, and let's lock down this 3rd period. See what happens. Come on, boys. Power play for us. It's a long one, but we do not score on it, but it did take time off the clock, which is always good. Final 10 minutes of this 3rd period, still up by a pair of goals. Can we lock it down? Final 5 minutes. Come on, boys. You got this. There's the good defensive team I know from the regular season. Staubit's the empty netter, and we do respond with a nice 3-0 victory in Nashville, so we are back into the series. The shots were dead even, 32-32, but Harakala picking up a shutout in Game 3. So Harakala is definitely the guy, I think, right now for the postseason, at least until he starts playing bad. But Rick Kim from Delisle and Lorena, Peterson from Dunham and Cashman, and Staubitz from Peterson and Kolars. So the new look top line credited for that empty net goal. Harakala gets the 1st star, Tulipov 2nd star, Peterson the 3rd star. So we've had some good defensive games, back-to-back games. We've only allowed 1 goal in the last 2 games after losing game 1 in overtime. So I think we're back into the series. Just got to keep playing like this, good defensive stats that we had in the regular season, and we definitely could win. We don't necessarily need to be scoring 5 goals a game, but we need to be kind of limiting teams to under 3 goals a game if possible. So that's a good little response, and I think we got to keep the team the same after a game like that, probably. I just got to make sure that Harakala is still in that, just because I don't know if he'll really adjust things, just because both those guys are the same overall. So let's just make sure Harakala is starting, and we'll keep the lineup the same with Risto on that second line, because he's been pretty quiet so far, which is kind of scary, but then again, he is getting closer and closer to retirement, which is not great. So hopefully him and Staubitz and all those guys get going a little bit here soon, because I would like our top guys scoring a little bit more than they are doing right now. But obviously, if we could just find a way to suffocate the Preds, it's not a bad idea either. So here we go, game number 4. This is a crucial game for both teams. If we win this game, it's a back to square one again, and it becomes a best of 3. If we lose this game, we got to win 3 wins in a row, which is going to be kind of tough. So let's see what happens. Game 4 on the road. Can we win 2 games in Nashville, and is this going to be potentially the home ice trend? First period, game 4. 1-1. Okay, we do allow a goal in the first period for one of the first times, I think. Boudreau scores first for them, so this is the first time the Preds have scored first in this entire series, which is a bit weird. Mahalik, though, ties it up for us, so kind of glad we held on to Mahalik. He was healthy all year this year. He's been able to play in the playoffs as well, and he does get his first goal probably in quite some time in the playoffs, because I think this is his first playoffs he's been healthy for probably the beginning of it in quite some time. Like, last year, I think he only played like 3 or 4 games. The year before that, he missed the entire playoffs. And then the year before that, we won the Stanley Cup or something like that. So, good to see him on the board anyways. Shots are 14-11 in favor of the Preds. It's a 1-1 game. Let's see what we could do in the second period and see if we could grab that lead. Second period, 2-1 us. Okay, that's good. Rick Kim. we are starting to play that good defensive brand of hockey that we had in the regular season. The last 3 games, we've been pretty damn good because game 2, we only allowed 2 goals against, and that was through 3 periods. Last game, we didn't allow a single goal. This game, we've only allowed 1 through 2 periods as well, so it's nice to see us with the lead again. Rick Kim has goals in back-to-back games, I believe, or 2 at least in the series. Shots are still pretty even, though, 23-22. Can we get some insurance and lock this game in the 3rd period and potentially tie the series up? Let's see what happens. Come on, boys. The ball is in our court. The ball is in our court. Just got to do it. Hey, Peterson makes it 3-1. That's a big goal from Peterson. Good to see him on the board. Tuilepov makes it 4-1 as he scores on maybe his brother. I forgot that the 2 Tuilepovs, but that's funny to see. LaRose scores to make it a 4-2 game. A little bit more of an offensive game in this one compared to the last few games, but that's good for us, I guess. Peterson makes it 5-2. That should do it. And we are going to take both games in Nashville after we lost both of our home games, which means now it is going to be a best of 3. We outshot them 39-31. We get 3 third-period goals, and the game-winning goal is technically this one from Peterson, but nice to see Tuilepov scoring on, I'd say, his brother potentially in this series. Let's see, goals, we had Mahalik from Colors and Staubitz, Kim from Ristolainen and Huttunen, Peterson from Staubitz, Tuilepov from Cashman and Bell, and Peterson from Staubitz and Huttunen. So nice to see Peterson come through with some goals, and that seems like that top line's starting to play good again, which is nice. Peterson with 2 goals gets 1st star, Staubitz the 2nd star, 3 assists gets 2nd star, and Harakala once again the 3rd star of the game. So Harakala's had 3 strong games in a row. He's definitely the guy. And if for some reason he plays bad back-to-back games, we could always go to Mathers. But we do have a tie series now, which is not really what I was expecting after we went down 2-0. So, yeah, we've only allowed 3 goals in our last 3 games. So we are starting to bring that defensive brand of hockey we had in the regular season together, which is great. And our offense is also starting to click a little bit more because we now have 8 goals in our last 2 games as well. So things are looking good. I think we got to keep the team the same going into this next game since we've won 2 in a row. Can we find a way to win our first game on home ice of this playoffs? Because so far we're 0-2 on home ice. I think last year, actually, we weren't good on home ice either in the postseason, if I remember right. So it's something about playing in front of our home fans that gives our team a little bit of a much of an edge in the playoffs. But as long as we're able to win on the road, we could definitely win series still. So with that said, let's get to game number 5 and see if we get out 3 straight good games here and take our first lead of the series. Come on, boys. Build off these last 2 games. First period, game number 5. 3-1 Preds, oh boy. This honestly could be the home ice trend at this point, because if we lose this game and we find a way to win in Nashville, then I think we might win game 7, but not a good start here at all for us in the first period, as Harakala allows 3 goals on 10 shots. So he had 3 straight good games in a row, and now he's off to a bad start. There's a chance he could have got pulled after that first period too. We are still in this game though. We're only down by 2, so don't count us out yet. If we have a good second period, we could definitely get back into this game. So Locked Andres makes it 1-0. Will Smith makes it 2-0. Maybe a slap shot, I'll call it that again. I don't know, I just keep on making jokes about Will Smith and slapping Chris Rock, but Staubitz scores on the power play to get us within 1, but Standard scores again. Standard's been really solid for them, which is not great considering he's only an 82, but he's on that top 6 for them. So like I said, shots are pretty even. We do have the shot advantage. We're only down by 2 goals. If we get even 1 goal back in the second period and don't allow them to score any goals, we definitely could still win this game. So I do still trust in this team, but we need a bit better goaltending and defensive play if we can. Because all 3 of those goals are from like the slot area too, which is not great. Can we find a way to get back into this game in the second period? Second period? Oh, no, we cannot. 5-1. Well, this game is pretty much over. 5 goals on 20 shots. I think Harakala probably got yanked after that. That's not good. Dadonov scores in. Will Smith scores again. Well, I feel like we're going to potentially have a Game 7 result where we win on home ice if we find a way to win next game. But this is not looking too good so far. We've been definitely way more inconsistent this playoff run. And Nashville's now scoring all those goals that they weren't scoring the last 3 games. So, not great. We'll do a real-time simulation in the third, but it looks like we are going to be trailing once again, which is unfortunate. Maybe you can get something to cheer about for next game or something like that at least. Which it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case so far. We're out shooting them, but we're down by 4 goals. That's really unfortunate, man. Like, we definitely came to play offensively in terms of chances, but we can't score goals. There's one from Bell to make it 5-2. And that will be the final as we lose our third game on home ice in this playoff run already. Final shots 42-31 in favor of us, but we lose by 3 goals. And we will be going to Game 6 in Nashville, where they have a chance to potentially close us out. Stel was from Kim and Ristolainen, and then we had Bell from Kolarz and Tulipov. Who was badly minus in that game? There's got to be somebody at least. Oh, boy. Oh my goodness, and this is just one of those things that I feel like it just like the game wants to like make me look like a total dumbass. Just because Garage TV is gonna be like, see, I told you Narena was trash, but I don't blame him. But yeah, Narena was really bad that game. He did play almost 27 minutes, so that is a lot of ice time for a guy, but especially for his age too, I guess. But yeah, -5. Then you also had the guys on that top line all -3. Hunwick was -3. Yeesh. I mean, it doesn't help that Harakala rocked an 839. He played the entire game, but yeah, he was pretty bad in it. So I'm not going to blame that fully on Narena. I probably would put that on the goaltending. But yeah, Tulipov first star for them. Will Smith second star. John Standard, I think his name was the third star. So far, we're 0-3 on home ice. We need to find a way to win in Nashville. We are probably going to go to Mathers for next game because we have nothing to lose at this point. At least we already have a Stanley Cup. But if we lose this game, obviously we lose the series. But we need to find a way to force a Game 7. And I think Mathers deserves another opportunity because he had a really good regular season. And he's only played one bad playoff game so far at this point. So let's go to him. Even though Harakala has been a good goaltender at points, we are going to take him out. And we're going to go back to Ristolainen on the top line and maybe flip some things on these other lines a bit. I'm trying to think of what I want to do here. Maybe get Malak into the top 6 would be okay, but I feel like the ice time is not great otherwise. There's not really much I can do in terms of adjusting these lines too much. Maybe I move Malak up and Doig down. I don't really know what else I could do to make this offensive core better. Defensively, we should probably readjust this. We'll move Narena down to the top 6, and we'll move Hutton up here. Yeah, we'll do something like that. Yeah, something like that should be okay. I know Narena's obviously our best offensive defenseman, but let's give him some sheltered ice time a little bit, just to make him feel a little bit more reliant back there, maybe. Aside from that, there's not really much else I could do. Like, this defensive chemistry is not the best in the world. Yeah, that should be fine. I could get Ackerstrom into the lineup, but I don't think it's something I want to do. Yeah, this might be one of the last times you get to see the top line together, because Staubitz could still retire at the end of this season, which is a bit worrisome. I don't think he will, but this is maybe one of the last years you get to see these guys running together on that top line, because some of these guys are going to drop off potentially a lot in the offseason, and some of them might be on the second line next year, so we got to find a way to win another game in Nashville and force a Game 7. Because like I said, it might be the home ice trend, so maybe we win this game. If we do win this game, maybe I feel safer going into a Game 7, but it's definitely been quite inconsistent. We win 2 games in a row. We won 5-2 in our last game, and then they won 5-2 in that last game after that. So I honestly don't know which version of our team we're going to get. If it's going to be the good defensive team, is it going to be the team that could score goals, or is it going to be the team that just doesn't play anything? So let's see what happens. Game 6 in Nashville, looking to stay alive. Mathers is backing net, just because might as well give him a chance. Can we force a Game 7 back on home ice? Ristolainen opens the scoring. That's a good start. Good to see our top line on the board, and Lambert makes it 2-0 immediately. So good start offensively from the boys, as maybe they didn't realize how big of a mistake they made in the last game. But I think this could potentially be the home ice trend based on what I'm seeing right now. It's kind of funny when you could kind of see this happen, though. Cassian scores on Mathers, but we answered right back, and then they answered right back. God damn, that was 3 quick goals. 3-2 for us after the first period alone. Well, we're getting into a little bit of an offensive shootout, which is not necessarily what I want to see, but we are leading. Shots are dead even, but we do have the lead. But those 3 goals were so quick succession, though. They scored at 2:20. We scored at 1:46, so that's only like, I guess, 46 seconds later, something like that. Or 44 seconds later. Honestly, don't even know. And then they scored literally 23 seconds after we got that insurance marker. So it's not been a good start for Mathers again, but he does have to learn because he will be probably our backup to start next season, him and Malkin. Malkin likely will be the backup full-time next season, but Mathers could be a third stringer, kind of like Harakala has been for us this season. So kind of a weird start to this game. Let's play better defensively, and let's get some saves in that next period, and let's get some insurance as well. Because or else this is going to be a tough night potentially on the defense. Come on, boys. Let's get some insurance. Let's get some goals from Staubitz, Ristolainen. I almost said Staubalainen. God damn it. My brain is scrambled after that first period. All right, some penalty kills. Long penalty kill. I don't know who took this penalty, but you got to be more disciplined. And Cashman scores right afterwards. That's big money play by Cashman. Cashman scores again. The money man is doing it all here in this period. That's huge from Cashman. We kill off the penalty, and then he scores 2 goals in a span of 2 minutes almost, or just over 2 minutes. Final shots after the second period, 31-23. So they are out shooting us because of that long power play probably, but we're up by 3 goals. Just got to close it down for 20 more minutes, and then we go to a Game 7. So I do feel safer if we do go to a Game 7 that we would win this, but who knows what could still happen in Game 7 if we do get there. So third period underway. Let's lock it down. Cashman with the natural hat trick in the span of only a few minutes of game time. That's actually insane. Will Smith makes it 6-3 to get them back on the board. But what a game for Cashman. Absolutely money. I know he's a pending free agent too, I think, at the end of the season. So he's definitely wanting to be re-signed here, I think. But we are going to win 6-3. And we have forced ourselves a Game 7. I did think it was going to go to a Game 7. We got outshot 48-34 in that game. So Mathers had a super strong performance after that first period as well. He was absolutely crucial in that penalty kill. But Ristolainen from Tulipov and Staubitz. We had Lambert from Heatley and Tulipov, Malak from Norena, Cashman from Malak and Dunham, Cashman from Hunwick and Kim, Cashman from Malak and Dunham. But Cashman literally had 3 goals in the span of, I guess that's, 525, 737? Something like that. I think it's like around 7 minutes and 40 seconds of ice time, time between the second, or not of ice time, but 7 minutes and 40 seconds of playing time around that he scored a natural hat trick in. So, huge game from Cashman. Without him, we definitely would not have won that game. And without Mathers as well. But Cashman, the first star probably in this game. Malak had 3 points as well, so he was great. Tulipov on 2 points, Dunham on 2 points. A bunch of guys on 1 point as well. And then from a goaltending perspective, Mathers was fantastic. Only a 3 goals against average, but which is not the greatest, obviously, but a .938. And like I said, he faced 48 shots on goal. So we do have ourselves a bit of a goaltending dilemma for Game 7. But Cashman, a first star of the game, Malak second star, and Mathers the third star. So trying to think of who I want to start for Game 7. Harakala was good for 3 straight games before he blew it. His last start, though, he was pretty bad. And Mathers was good in this last start of his, but not good in his first game. I think I'm going to give it to Mathers. Considering he's going to be our backup next season, he needs to learn in these situations. So I think he will start Game 7 as we look to potentially get ourselves to the second round. But let me look at the lines here for a second and see if that's what I want to do for sure here. I do want to keep the lineup the same. I think we did well in the last game for sure. But goaltending, right now, technically, Harakal has the better numbers. And he has that 1 shutout. But I think we got to give it to Mathers here. Got to give it to Mathers, I think. So this might be the last time we get to see Harakala in our uniform, depending if our team gets eliminated or not. We are still looking to hopefully survive a couple rounds so Gianta could return too. But let's hope that we have a good effort here. I did move Malak to that third line, actually. I forgot about that. So we did make an adjustment to that third line, moving Doig down. And that might have helped things quite a bit. I'm not too sure, but Cashman had a really strong last game. He's over point per game right now in this first round too. So this third line's been our bread and butter right now. So let's keep it the same. And yeah, let's hope that Mathers could make this game matter and get ourselves to that next round. So can we win this in 7 games and get ourselves to the second round? If we get past this round, I think we could definitely beat anybody. But Nashville definitely a strong team in a lot of areas. And I definitely expected them to give us a little bit of a run for their money. But let's see what happens. Game 7. We look for our first win on home ice. If we lose this game, we're literally going to be 0-4 on home ice in a playoff run, which is not great. So let's give our fans one win here at least, and then hopefully we can win them some more games in that next round as well. Real-time simulation. Let's build off last game, boys. Let's build off that last game. So far, not a lot of shots between both teams. Pretty even game so far at this point. Power play for us. We do not score on it. That's unfortunate. Power play again for us. And we do score. Let's go. It's the captain, Staubitz. Staubitz has been decent in the series, which is good to see considering his age. I wasn't expecting him to necessarily fully do stuff as Holton tied it up with 4 seconds left in the first period. That's not great. We could have literally had the lead going into that second period, but instead they had other decisions. Holton's been pretty good in the series against us, which is not great. We definitely need to contain him considering he was a franchise player or is a franchise player, 96 overall. So if we could contain him the rest of this game and find our offense, we could definitely win, but we need to definitely not let that top 6 get going of the Preds. Shots are 12-8 in favor of us, 1-1 game. Let's see what happens in this crucial second period. Come on, boys. Let's get that lead back. Swanson makes it 2-1 Preds. Not ideal, but we do answer back. It's Rick Kim, who's had a good playoffs. He's had like 3 goals against this Preds team, which is impressive. 5-on-3 for us. We do not score on it again, and they scored right afterwards. Bembridge makes it 3-2 Preds. But we answer back once again. Doig scores, getting demoted down to the fourth line, and makes it a 3-3 game. Shots are 33-17 in favor of us. So right now, Mathers is having a bit of a tough time here in Game 7. But our offense keeps responding every time they score, which is good. We had the lead 1-0, then it was 1-1. Then they had the lead 2-1. We tied it up. They had the lead 3-2. We tied it up. So this has been a pretty crazy game so far. We're definitely outplaying them, but we need to get that good goaltending. So far, they've been getting solid goaltending from Tulipov, and that's really all they need. We need Mathers to step up in this third period, because there is a chance if we win this game and he doesn't play good, maybe I'll start Harakala next round, something like that. But it comes down to this. This series has gone to Game 7, and it's coming down to the third period potentially to decide it. It could go to overtime still in the series, but can we find a way to get that winning goal and get that lead back? We haven't had the lead since the first period, so can we get it here? Real-time simulation, third period underway. Come on, boys. Oh my goodness, they get the lead immediately, and they get another one. God damn it, Mathers didn't find himself. Maybe I should have started Harakala's game, but I thought the younger goalie. We are back within one again. Malak makes it 5-4. They answer right back again, 6-4. We answer back again, 6-5. What is happening in this Game 7? We're going to jump in already. I don't even care at this point. We're jumping in. This game is absolute chaos, and I don't want to look at it through a sim engine. I want to watch this chaos instead, so let's jump on in. We are trailing 6-5, and it's been a crazy offensive game again. God damn, I got to turn off the music and stuff, but might as well jump into this at this point in time. I don't know if we'll be able to play as good as the sim engine is making us play right now. Like, maybe this is a bad idea doing this, but I really want to just watch this, I guess, because there's nothing else more crazier than a Game 7 like this. So let's hop on in and see if we can find a way to tie this game up, get it to an overtime scenario. This has been really crazy, this third period. I was expecting to be a bit more tight, but a lot of goals back and forth. All right, we have an offensive zone face-off, so that's a good way to start it off. Doig taking the face-off for some reason. Are we on the penalty kill? Looks like we are. Yeah, we're on the penalty kill for 10 more seconds. Hunwick, a shot, he scores immediately. Let's go. Okay, that's why you jump on in. Hunwick, a short-handed goal, his first of the playoffs. And we are tied at 6 in Game 7. Oh, man. Also, I love how the arena looks when we score goals. I forgot that I made our team have, like, green lights around the sides. Literally looks like we're going to blast off into outer space. But what a shot through a screen and a short-handed goal in Game 7. That's absolutely huge. But what a crazy third period this has been. I don't know how much goals have happened in this third period now, but the Preds have had the lead so many times in this game. Maybe we are going to find a way to somehow win this still. Holy crap. All right. Will Smith is second in playoff points apparently right now, so he's been cooking us. But look at that. 6-6 shots are 42-23. So like I said, I haven't been a fan of Mathers' play so far in this game, but our offense has been able to keep with it. We got to find a way to get that lead. Holton walks in for the Preds. Boudreau, a shot turned away by Mathers, I think, unless Heracal's in net now, which I don't think he is. Pass out front. Will Smith, a shot. Huge save there. Damn, that was dangerous. Right in the slot. Ristolainen intercepts it. Here comes Peterson. The pressure is gone. Peterson can't get in. He's battling for it. Swanson takes it. Taken away. Ristolainen to Peterson. He throws it to Hutton into Rakim. Over to Peterson. He scores. What the hell, man? Okay, I figured there was going to be still more goals, but after you jump in from a sim engine game, you never know. We take the lead. We have not had the lead in quite some time. What a third period this has been. And we're only a few minutes away from now potentially going to the second round. Hopefully we go past the second round too, because or else this isn't going to look like anything. But Peterson with an absolutely huge goal there. As him and... Actually, yeah, was it Peterson? Yeah, it was Peterson, right? I can't remember who it was now at this point. Yeah, it was. And just showing our passing in very slow motion for some reason. Yeah, right in the slot. Boom. Absolutely crazy game this is. Kolarz is up there in hits. I was not expecting Kolarz to be a guy to throw his weight around, but here we are. Wow. 2 goals on the first 2 shots we see. So there we go. 7-6 game. Stelwitz now walks in. He shoots. Tulipov the save. It makes sense that Tulipov's allowing a lot of goals, though, because they are giving up a lot of shots on goal to us, so... I was not expecting this, though, when we jumped in. Look at the depth scoring on our team, too. Our stop line has been the main part of it. Cashman and that third line's been great, too. But we're 6:26 away, so there's still a lot of time in this game. We got to be careful that we do not blow this lead now. Let's see if we can get some insurance. Holton walks in for the Preds. Throws it on net. Mathers to save. But yeah, Mathers definitely needs to be better here. I feel like I'll probably start Heracala next round if we do get there, just because... Mathers has been pretty bad in this third period, but he's lucky that the team is good offensively that they could respond for him. Because like the Preds have had so many leads in this third period. Tulipov with it. Throws it to Bell. Drew Bell carrying it up. Throws it back to Ristolainen. He throws it up to the captain Stelbitz. He finds Kolarz. Kolarz walks in. Can't get past Shore. Shore with it up to Latendresse. Get it away. Latendresse rocking to 69, finds Zanata, shot, huge save, rebound, it's knocked in, and Latendresse has tied this game at 7. Oh my goodness, that's not good. Like I said, can't say that we're going to win these games yet when we're up by 1 and it's been in an offensive game like this, but yeah, nothing that Mathers could really do on that. Just a juicy rebound, and he had the sprawl across to try and stop him, but Latendresse able to jam it in. That's a bit of a cheese goal. Huge rebound there. He almost got it, though, but I feel like that should be goalie interference almost, basically, because he just ran right into him while pushing it in, but maybe not. Well, I don't know necessarily what's going to happen now. Our coach has to talk to our boys. This has been one of the craziest Game 7s I think I've ever seen. 7-7. So whoever wins might have 8+ goals. I mean, there's still time for multiple goals, too. I don't like that we've allowed 7 goals on 28 shots, though. That's pretty damn horrific. Alright. Shore over, one-timer, and they take the lead back. John Standard has made it an 8-7 game. 2 goals on 2 shots. Mathers has been absolutely horrific in this Game 7. And we have blown our lead now. We scored 2 quick goals to take the lead. Now they score 2 goals to take the lead back. What is this game, man? Well, at least we're seeing the offense on full, our offense play actually really good, but man, this is... I wanted a better goaltending results, and I'm not getting it whatsoever. Like, nobody knows how to play defense on either team right now. That's one that you should have, though, too. That's like a blocker shot. You should have deflected it into the corner, but unfortunately, we have lost our lead again. God damn, Standards up there with 7 points for them. This is a crazy game. We're out shooting literally 44-29, but down 8-7. This is literally like almost watching an NFL playoff game, it feels like. I don't even know. Delisle walks in, can't get by. Still time to tie this one up again, but I do not like that we're trailing now. I was much more happy when we had the lead. Standard. Taken away. Narena finds Mahalik. Mahalik up to Delisle. Delisle walks in, can't get the shot to the net, but it does go to the net, and he will freeze the puck in Tulipov. So we have an offensive zone face-off. Hopefully, we can find a way to get some full pressure here and tie this one up. We do have our top line back out there again. Ristolainen in his 99 faceoffs. Can he win it? Yes, he can. Bell over to Tulipov, a bomb, and it's blocked. Stowitz can't get a shot away. Now Cassian has it for the Preds. Get back, boys. Cassian makes a move, throws it over. Ristolainen with the good intercept. We're down to the last minute 40, so this end of the game is coming a lot faster than I was anticipating. Stowitz makes a move, throws it up to Kolars. Kolars trying to bust his way in, can't. We're down to the final minute. We need to get pressure here, boys. Almost a turnover there, but it doesn't work. Come on, guys. We only have 50 seconds. We need to get back into their zone. Standard, a locked on dress, turned away. Huge save there by Mathers. Delayed penalty to the Preds. Cassian heads to the box with 45 seconds to go, so we will be on the power play to end off this Game 7 potentially. As our fans are going bananas in the back of our coach area, which is their coach area. Can we find a way to tie this game up? Damn, an offensive zone penalty too. That's a terrible penalty for Cassian to take for the Preds, but let's see if we can capitalize on it. All this green around us, we got to find a way to get it done. Got to find a way to get it done. Hopefully we can get something going here. Tie this game up. We don't have a lot of time. We can do it. We can do it. We definitely have the offensive weapons to do it. So, Peterson at the face-off. He'll win it. Throws it to Hunwick. Hunwick shoots, deflected by Peterson. He scores. 8-8. 8-8. We are tied. And that guy loves hockey. I love hockey too, man. This has been a crazy third period. Holy crap. As we have tied it up on the power play. What a bad penalty for Cassian to take. Nice deflection as Peterson just goes straight to the net. Hunwick, great shot. Great deflection. And Tulipov not happy about it. Oh my goodness. Well, did you guys expect this much goals when we jumped in? Because I honestly didn't. Because the sim engine I thought was going to be different than the actual gameplay. But look at the reaction from the bench. The coach happy. Lambert and Stowitz giving a little fist bump. I don't know why Stowitz wasn't out there. Apparently, I thought he would have been out there because of that face-off in that power play unit. But, oh well. We tie the game up with the net pull, or the empty netter, I think, too. Because I think we pulled our goalie on that play. 8-8 game. God damn. I honestly don't know who's going to win it at this stage. If we find a way to win it, we're winning the Stanley Cup this year, right? I gotta hope so, at least. Peterson with it. Tries to drive in. Can't. Gotta simplify, boys. Don't try and just dangle here in this final 30 seconds. Oh, big hit there. I don't know who that was that threw that hit, but that was huge. Oh, it was Hutton. Youngster. We've never seen him before. Gotta get it out. Don't let it get into our zone. Delisle can't get out. Stejko, get it away. Swanson with it. Shoots. Turned away. Rebound. Loose puck. Peterson recovers. Peterson's had a great third period here. Hunwick with it. We saw him score a shorthanded goal in this period. He finds Hutton. Hutton in. He shoots. Turned away by Tulipov. That would have been a crazy way to win it in the final seconds. But of course this game's going to need more dramatics. We head to overtime in an 8-8 Game 7. I don't even know what's going to happen at this point. Which is kind of nice. Because most of the time I can kind of know when something's going to happen. But we're out shooting 47-31. Like I said, it's been a terrible effort in net for Mathers, but our offense keeps responding, and I honestly don't know what's going to happen here in OT, but who's going to be the one to buckle on that 9th goal? Ristolainen versus Holton. Holton wins the draw. Shore up to Will Smith. Huge hit there. I don't know who that was. That was Tulipov. Tulipov throws it up. Here comes Kolars. Kolars finds Stowitz. Stowitz shoots. Turned away by Tulipov. Great chance to start this overtime from the captain. Our 48th shot on goal. Nice little backhand to the net. I'm going to lose my voice probably from recording this episode. Just because it sounds like it is. But I have to play floor hockey later in the night too. So, oh boy. Here's a big face-off. Ristolainen wins it again. Stowitz. Tulipov to Bell. Bell shoots it. Deflection. Doesn't get to the net. Seems like we're going for those net front presence plays a little bit. Risto turns it over. He can't get to the net. Oh my goodness. Come on, boys. Get it away. This game has me on edge. Gotta get away. Will Smith with it. Poke check nicely by Tulipov. He throws it up to Kolars. Mitej Kolars up to Stowitz, the captain. Can't get by Shore. Holy crap. How is this game gonna end? Probably on some fluky-ass play, right? Ristolainen with it. Throws it over to Kolars. Kolars gets decked. God damn. Are you okay, Kolars? Don't be injured. Okay, good. Stowitz intercepts it. Can't get a shot. Come on, guys. Come on, get away. Nice hit there, but a little bit of a bad play to get him out of position. Standard with it. Nice little play there by Kolars. Defending. Huge defensive play by Hutton with that stick, but then he turned it over, but then he intercepts it again. We have an odd man rush. Peterson walking in. Peterson shoots, turned away as he looked for a hat trick. Oh my god. Rick him. Dadonov with it. Don't let it be Dadonov of all people, because or else now I feel like 2BC saying Dadonov, you motherfucker. You know, Hunwick. Here we are with the possession again. Delisle. Delisle carrying it in. Walks in. Still with it. Shoots. Turned away by Tulipov. That's our 50th shot on goal in this game 7. I didn't expect there to be a high-scoring game like this after the way some of those games were, though. Because we've had some really strong defensive games, but this game's been crazy. Absolute chaos. Huge intercept by Delisle. He's all alone, almost. Walks in, shoots, turned away by Tulipov. Great play by Delisle on that intercept. We almost have full pressure. If we could get that pressure, that might be huge for us. And we do bring out the Cashman-Dunham-Malak line, which has been pretty good in this series. Cashman wins the draw. Here's Bell with a bomb. It's turned away by Tulipov and deflected to the corner. That's a smart play by that goaltender, because you don't want that puck being in your zone too long. Stejskal walks in, shoots, turned away by Mathers. Mathers has me on edge a little bit just because he's allowed so many goals in this game. Malak finds Dunham. Dunham forces his way in. Dunham can't get by as he tried to make a little shimmy move to get it by. Halverson with it for them. Get away, guys. Swanson walks in, shoots, blocked. Cashman turns it over. Halverson's poked. Here's Malak. Malak, you gotta be careful, buddy. Cashman gets decked again. Tulipov gets decked. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Yikes, I thought they were gonna win it there just because of the fact we just could not get out and they keep throwing hits. They almost have full pressure, so that's scary. We gotta win a face-off here in our defensive zone if we can. Here, boys. I need a drink of water, goddamn. Oh my goodness, my voice is gonna be really sore after this. Alright, we do have Ristolainen out there for this big defensive zone face-off, so hopefully he can win it. And he does. That's why Ristolainen's the Selke guy. That's why he's the Selke guy. Here he comes. He's got room. Risto, over to Kolars! No, turned away by Tulipov. I thought that was gonna go in somehow. But yeah, that's why you have Ristolainen out there for those plays. Huge on the face-offs. And he could also bring the offense too. He almost nearly set up Kolars for that game winner. Risto on the draw. He wins it again. Tulipov shoots. Turned away. And it's kicked on out. Kept in by Bell. We do have full pressure. Stelwitz can't get the shot through. We do have full pressure. Ristolainen throws it to the net on a pass. Almost deflected to the net, but turned away by Tulipov. We do still have pressure for 21 seconds, but maybe we could take advantage of this pressure system. Holy crap, what a game. Ristolainen on the face-off dot against Holton. Holton won it, but it's poked right back to Tulipov, who plays it out. Kalinin with it for them. Boudreau banks it out, and that will get rid of our pressure. Get away. Don't allow Will Smith to walk in. He's dangerous. Nice poke. Bell throws it up to Kolars. Kolars kicks it down. Nice smart play. Risto will chase after Boudreau. Can't get it. A bang pass for the Preds. Here's Holton. Holton. Get away. Will Smith walks in. Shot turned away. That's a huge rebound, though. They have now full pressure. We got to get it out, boys. We got to get it out. Boudreau shot turned away by Mathers, and Hunwook took a slashing penalty. I didn't even hear that because I don't even have my headphones on. We're going to a penalty in overtime. We do have one short-handed goal, and was from Hunwick earlier, but he might have made a smart play there just in case there was a pass across, but not good to take a penalty in Game 7 overtime, because Hunwick might go down as the guy that cheesed us out of one of our most historic-looking games here, but we could get a big penalty kill. That would be huge. Maybe we could get a short-handed game winner, too. Ristolainen wins another face-off, throws it down low. Mahalik should be able to clear this, and he does. And the pressure is gone. Right? Yep. Okay, good. Okay, let's play good defensively here, boys. Standard walks in for the Preds. Stejskal to LaRose, over to Standard, and Mathers makes a huge save. Okay, Mathers has made some pretty key saves. He hasn't been great tonight, but that's a good little save there. Because our defense, we don't want them to buckle too much here. Face off, we have Cashman against Standard. Cashman, can he win the draw? No, he cannot. Stejskal to Swanson. Shoots, turned away. Norena takes it. He will clear it, and it won't get out. Stejskal over, and nice intercept by Doig, and he will clear it. That's a huge pick off by Doig. Zanata with it now for the Preds. Poked, checked. There's a pass over. Standard a shot. He scores. God damn it, man. What is this game? This was such a fun game to watch, and we lose in overtime. Now the Preds are going to go on to win the Stanley Cup or something like that. Oh my goodness. And this episode's probably around an hour long now at this point too. And we don't get the win. Damn, man. We got cheesed at the end of it. We got the cheese at the end of it. At least we got to see these guys out there for one more time in a crazy third period. But if we had had Gionta fully healthy, do you guys think we would have had a better playoff run? Because Mathers, maybe I should have put Harakal in for Game 7, but I honestly had no idea if which goalie was going to be better in Game 7. But we got to see some pretty sick plays here. But the game-winning goal has to be from Standard because I called him out and said that he was not good enough to be on a top 6 role. But god damn it. Zanata had 4 points for the Preds in that 9-8 game. So yeah, that line was really good for them. Absolute crazy game. What the shit. Peterson, the second star, 2 goals and assist. We saw 2 of those goals. And I don't know about the assist, but we tied it up late. We tied it up multiple times, but we just could not get the win despite outplaying them in that one. And John Standard, 3 points and 5 hits. Gets first star for them. God damn, man. Absolute crazy game. We'll go to the box score in a second, but yeah, the Preds had a lot of guys with points in that game, as you'd expect. Only a total of 6 guys without a point. And in our scoring, we had a lot of guys with a point as well. Peterson had 3 points. We had Hunwick with 2 points. Stelwitz, Risto, Kolars, Doig, Kim all with 2 points. Tulipov, and a bunch of others with 1 point. Everybody on this team had a point except for Mahalik, Narena, and Bell. And unfortunately, that's how the series is going to end. Or not the series is going to end, but the playoff run is going to end. Mathers is 763. Yeah. I don't think Mathers was supposed to be in net for Game 7. I don't know if Harakala would have done much better, to be honest, but let's go to the box score because this is an absolute chaos of a game. So, in that first period, we were tied at 1-1 only. And somehow it became 9-8 final, but we had Stelwitz score from Kolars and Ristolainen. Then Holton tied it up late in that period with 4 seconds left. If we played better in its last 4 seconds, we could have won this game. They then took the lead, but then we answered back with Rick Kim from Peterson and Delisle. They took the lead again, and then Doig answered from Lambert and Heatley. So at this point, it's a 3-3 game going into the third. Third period begins. Will Smith scores 57 seconds in to make it 4-3 Preds. Cassian scores to make it 5-3 Preds. And at that point, I'm like, this game's over. Well, we answered not too long later, I guess. Malak makes it a 5-4 game from Dunham and Cashman. Then we had Zanata score for them to make it a 6-4 game. 6-4 game. And at that point, again, I'm like, this game's over. Well, Ristolainen answers to make it a 6-5 game. And then Hunwick scores immediately when we jumped in. No, that wasn't actually when we jumped in even. Was it when we jumped in? No, that was the one when we jumped in, I think. That makes it a 6-6 game. No, actually, that wasn't when we jumped in. I'm not too sure. Anyways, that makes it 6-6. And then we took the lead 7-6 from Peterson. So yeah, that is when we jumped in. And then Latondres scores that kind of fluky goal to make it 7-7. Then Standard scores to make it 8-7. And then Peterson scores to make it 8-8 in the final minute. We head to overtime where Standard ends it. What a friggin' crazy third period. There was a total of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 goals in that third period, I think. Let me actually take a look at that. Yeah, 10 goals. 5 goals for each team. And unfortunately, we lose in overtime 9-8. It outshot them badly, 55-38. But we do not get the victory. We also won more face-offs by 1, but it was not enough to get the win for us. God damn, what a crazy, crazy game. I don't even know what point this game is. I wanted to see if I could find us when we scored a goal, but I don't think there was any. Oh, boy, man, that sucks. That sucks. Where's Dave? Where's Dave? There he is. That's how I feel right now, is good old Dave. The Discord emote guy. There he is. That's how I feel. Let me just move my face just in case I want to grab a screenshot of him. Oh, that's tough, man. That was a really fun game, though. At least we went on a fun note, but unfortunately the Preds are not going to have a chance to go on to the second round, and they'll have a chance to go on and potentially win a Stanley Cup. Watch, they're going to find a way to win a Stanley Cup after beating us by that much, but we're out in the first round for the first time in quite a while. That's kind of scary because that could be the last NHL game for some players on our team, but probably not, my guess. Let's take a look at our final stats after that round, and then we'll see who wins the Stanley Cup, and then I'll probably end the episode because it's already pretty long at this point. But, oh, man. So Stelwitz had 9 points in 7 playoff games. Stelwitz was good. Peterson was good offensively. In terms of offense, I don't think we had really any problems. It just, the goaltending at the end of it was not good. And like I said, that's probably because Gionta was injured. If Gionta was back, maybe we'd do better. But we were the best defensive team, and then somehow we did that in that Game 7. I don't even know. But, yeah, the offense was good. Defensively, Bell was so good defensively. God damn. And I know Norena was bad defensively, -5. But, yeah, we did adjust his lineup a little bit. But he was good offensively, and that's what I was hoping for from him. Because he doesn't need to bring the defense, really. But, yeah, we maybe should have started Harakala for Game 7, but I honestly don't know if that would have made it better. Mathers Lily rocked an 869. That last game was absolutely horrific, though. Alright. Well, there is that. Now, the question is, who's going to go on and win the Stanley Cup in 2041? And are we going to have any retirements? We'll get right to where the draft is for the next episode again, but a little bit of a long episode because of that. But I think at least it was worth it because of all the fun highlights we got to see. Just would have been better if we would have got to that second round and all that. Because I think if we would have won that game, we would have won ourselves maybe a Stanley Cup this year. But we didn't win a single game in front of our home fans. That's pretty bad. That's pretty damn bad. I thought it was going to be the home ice trend. But it definitely had a lot of surprises to me. Detroit ends up winning a Stanley Cup this year, apparently in 2041. Iowa wins the AHL. All right. Who is on that Detroit team? Any former players out of curiosity? Because I don't really know the Red Wings at this point in time. Let's see. Who is on the Red Wings? Who is on the Red Wings? Let's go Fords. Sweeney, no. I don't think I recognize any of these guys. It's funny that they had a guy with Holmstrom as his last name, no. Nobody that I recognize on Fords. Defensively... Nobody that I recognize. Shout out to the Ciofito guy just because I have a Ciofito in New York. And then from a goaltending perspective, David Morris. Don't think I know any of these dudes. Who did they beat in the finals is the question. They beat the Minnesota Wild. So Nashville, after beating us in that crazy game, went to the conference finals. Nearly went to the finals, but lost in 7 games. So shout out to the Preds. I mean, they're a fun team to match up against, but damn, man. That close to being maybe a team that could go far. It's been a while since we've won our Stanley Cup now at this point, too. This team is starting to fall off a little bit. It's okay, though. But we do have 2 President's Trophies, at least here in the last 5 years. Minnesota, Detroit Cup Finals. Pacioretty won the Art Ross for Detroit, so I can kind of see why they won. He also won the Art Ross. Sandine Pellikka to Norris for the 2nd year in the last 3 years. Blomstrand to Lady Byng. Calder goes to Keeler in San Jose. Henry wins the Conn Smythe for the Detroit Red Wings. And look at that. Spezza, our former goaltender, does go on to win the Vezina for the Carolina Hurricanes. That's kind of cool to see, though. So shout out to Spezza. Gionta does get the Jennings, though, obviously, because we are the best defensive team in the league. Zach Hurd won the Masterton for Montreal. So Montreal must be bad because he must have had a really bad plus-minus. But shout out to Hurd. Bullis for Montreal wins to Jack Adams. The Selke goes to Larmour. So Larmour, who was the best goal scorer in the league, yeah, also wins the Maurice, or not the Maurice Richard, but I'm saying the Selke as the best defensive player. So unfortunately, no Selke this year for Risto. Pacioretty wins the Lindsay, and Larmour, like I said, the Richard. Any cool AHL awards? Does not look like it. Man, that's unfortunate. So no awards for our team this year. So just another year in the office other than the President's Trophy is what it is, though. All right, the question I have is, what about the draft class, retirements, all that stuff? I don't think we're going to have any retirements yet, but we might as well take a look at this in this episode. Rangers have the first pick in the draft, followed by San Jose, Buffalo, Florida, and Dallas. All right. Who is going to retire in 2041? I don't feel like we're going to lose anybody yet, but you never know. You never know. It does not look like it, but let's start off with centers, see if there's any former players at least. But shout out to like Jack Hughes and all those guys. Is there anybody that used to play with us? There's a generated guy in Shirokov, but he never played with us. Former 5th overall pick in 2024, so that guy was drafted the same year I believe Stelwitz was. So that's interesting. Anybody that I recognize down here? No. What about left wingers? Faneker. No, you, Basha, Nyquist. Callie Nyquist. Former Flame. Huh. Yeah, looks like no former players so far, which is kind of good. It's because the more former players that are still out there. Oh, there's a former player. Pavel Malkin. Shout out to Pavel Malkin. Former 6th-round pick. 183 points in 656 games. He was a decent option for us at times. Never got into contract after we let him go, which is unfortunate. But 6 points in his only 7 playoff games, so decent guy. But unfortunately, has to call him quits. Moroza wasn't ours. He was LA's. Holtinen wasn't ours. Pavao, I don't even know who you are. Defensively, any interesting defensemen like Jake Sanderson and Lane Hudson both retiring the same season. Interesting. Brant Clark, Owen Power. A lot of good defenders retiring this season. Anybody that used to play with us? Kim Haydeen. I recognize that name. He's undrafted, though. Oh, Noel Franzen already retires at this stage. Oh, it's interesting because he used to play in my Islanders series. So, all right. Novikov wasn't ours, right? Nope, that's a real player. Okay. Goaltenders. Nobody really. Frolov wasn't ours, right? No, Utah's. I did recognize that name for some reason. All right, so only one former player and nobody from our roster retires, which is good. Which means I'll be back for another season. Burnaby, we did lose Richard Musil, and we did not lose anybody in the NHL, so that's all good and ready to go. And we aren't going to do any draft interviews because I'm already like an hour, 10 minutes into this episode, so I really got to find a way to end this fast. So let's quickly just go through the progress reports and all that. But we are getting some drop-off from the guys you'd expect because of their age, but we're also getting some statistical growth. Comrie's listed as a 4th liner now. That's interesting. But yeah, Risto's dropping off a lot, which really sucks, man. We got to find a way to get his physical not to drop off too hard or something. I don't even know. Stubwitz is probably a little bit of a mixed bag in terms of growth and stuff. Actually, no drop off really whatsoever other than his speed. All right. So not too bad in terms of drop off, really, I guess. Some of our guys like Ryder McLeod, up to a 71. Wasn't he like the offensive defenseman that I drafted quite early? I feel like he was. But that's a lot of growth. That's what I like to see. A lot of other guys getting some good growth, some top 6 forwards, some low elites. Hopefully some of these guys make the NHL. I guess that would be great. All right. And in the goaltending situation, Malkin probably should be the backup next season. Like I said, probably Mathers could be brought back. Harakala probably gets let go of something like that. So there's that. Let's finally take a look also at the contract situation and the draft class. So contracts, we obviously have to bring back Rick Kim. He's the big UFA. We don't have to bring him back, but he's going to be expensive. He only wants a 1-year deal right now at 10.3. He does have a lot of organizational interest, so there is a chance I could drop him down to like $9 million almost, I think. Yeah, I probably could drop him down to like 9.25 for a year, potentially. He probably just wants another trial run to be really good. Doig's a pending RFA. At least we could bring him back easily. Cashman's a pending UFA. That's going to be expensive. It's not bad. 5 years at 6.3, but I'm not too sure about that. I did really like his playoff performance. Delisle's also pending UFA. Malok's a pending UFA. There's actually a lot more UFAs this year than I was anticipating, which kind of sucks. So if you guys see anybody that you would not bring back, let me know. Aside from that, we might have some guys making it from the minors to replace those kind of guys. And from a goaltending perspective, Mathers is an RFA, so he could come back as a depth goaltender option. Harakal is a UFA. And like I said, he probably wouldn't come back. He wants only $900,000, which isn't bad, but I don't know about having 4 NHL-ready goalies, if it would make sense, really. All right, final thing, the draft class. What is this draft class looking like? Is there any steals? We don't care about the beginning of the draft. I just want to know if there's steals and what we could draft around our position here. Let's see. No guaranteed medium elites outside of the top 5, potentially. No guaranteed low elites, but there is Connor Walchuk, who's 20, maybe. This might not be a good draft class, honestly. Let's go to around our pick, which is probably going to be a late first round, because we were obviously the President's Trophy winners. Howard Hayes, I don't feel like we know too much about this draft class. There is a medium 6 in Kemp. Not bad. Yeah, this draft class kind of looks a little bit weird. There is a gem here in Tuomas Martins. But yeah, I don't think this draft class is going to be very good. A lot of medium 9s potentially for round 2, which is not a good sign. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of Albuquerque Aliens Draft Glory Franchise Mode. So next episode, we'll take it to another offseason. We'll basically look to maintain our roster for the most part, because obviously there is going to be some guys dropping off and all that, but I hope that we don't have to let go of too much players in the offseason, because or else that's just going to make us regress even more. So it does suck that we lost in the first round, but I think that Game 7 was a really fun Game 7 at least to do. Line 8, it does suck that we allowed a lot of goals, but we were one win away from going to that second round, and who knows, maybe we would have been like with the Preds and get to the conference finals again. But this team's definitely getting a little bit too old, where we're probably going to start regressing more so the next few seasons, my guess. So anything down below, and I'll see you guys next time.